Former Emir of Kano State and also former CBN Governor LAMIDO SANUSI, he has posited, he said, Yorubas are the problems with Nigeria. Some will say the North is the problem with Nigeria, that if the South breaks away from the North, there will be progress. And they also said that the unlawful marriage, forced marriage of the North and the South, the amalgamation of 1914 is the reason why we are where we are today. He said, in summary, the Yoruba political leadership, as mentioned by Balaribe Musa, has shown itself over the years to be incapable of rising above narrow tribal interests and reciprocating goodwill from other sections of the country by treating other groups with respect. Practically every crisis in Nigeria since independence has its roots in this attitude. And my own personal opinion is this: I think every tribe in Nigeria has made mistakes. I'm not talking about the people that they call the masses. I'm talking about the people that are the decision makers. One way or the other, they've made mistakes. Some have made more mistakes than the other. He said the Yoruba elite and area boy politics, Igbo marginalization, and the responsible limits of retribution. My views on the Yoruba political leadership have been thoroughly articulated in some of my writings, prime among which was Afenifere Syllabus of Errors, published by This Day, the Sunday newspaper, on September 27, 1998. There was also an earlier publication in the Weekly Trust titled The Igbo, Yoruba and History, August 21st, 1998. In summary, the Yoruba political leadership, as mentioned by Balaribe, has shown itself over the years to be incapable of rising above narrow tribal interest. Practically every crisis in Nigeria since independence has its roots in this attitude. The Yoruba elite were the first in 1962 to attempt a violent overthrow of an elected government in this country. Now, for those who are versed in history, I want you to review what this man is saying, as oftentimes they say the North, the Hausa Fulani, they have a pattern, the divide and conquer. 2023 is on the way. So if the Hausas can get the Igbos or the Biafrans to trust in them, then they want to be the president while they bring an Igbo man as vice president. And I don't want you to be fooled. You know what it is. Even right now, Osibanjo is nothing more than a puppet. He went further to say, it was the violence in the West after which Awolowo lost to Shagari in 1983 elections. It was the discontent and bad publicity in the Southwest which led to Buhari's intervention. When Buhari jailed UPN governors like Ige and Onabanjo, the Southwestern press castigated that good government and provided the right mood for IBB to take over power. As soon as IBB cleared UPN governors of charges against them in a politically motivated retrial, it became the darling of the Southwest. When IBB annulled the primaries in which Adamu Siroma and Shehu Yaradua emerged as presidential candidates in the NRC and SDP, it was hailed by the Southwest. When the same man annulled the June 12, 1993 elections in which Abiola was the front runner, the Southwest now became defenders of democracy. Now he's trying to kind of weigh both together. I want to believe that when someone is doing the right thing, you want to applaud them. And when the person is not doing the right thing, you cannot be partisan or be a follower of someone that's making a fool of you or someone that has changed track. When IBB was interviewed as regards the June 12 election, he said certain groups of people called him, meaning some people that he belongs to, some military personnel that are in support of whatever he's doing, called him and said, you cannot do this. Now, there are a lot of talks here and there that IBB is a Yoruba man. Whatever it is, a Yoruba man or no Yoruba man, the truth of the matter is that even the governor of your state that is indigenous to your state is not even doing the right thing for you. So being part of a state from a region or the other does not benefit the average citizen. When it seemed Sani Abacha was sympathetic to Abiola, the Southwest supported his takeover. He was in fact invited by a prominent NADECO member to take over in a published letter shortly after the event. Even though Abiola had won the elections in the North was blamed for its annulment. When Absalom Abubakar started his transition, the Yoruba political leadership through NADECO presented a memorandum on a government of national unity that showed complete disrespect for the intelligence and liberties of other Nigerians. Subsequently, they formed a tribal party which failed to meet minimum requirements for registration, but was registered all the same to avoid the violence that was bound to follow non-registration. Even the area boy mentality of Southwest politicians, having rejected an Obasanjo candidacy and challenged the election as a fraud in court, will now find a leading member of the AD in government, a daughter of an Afenifere leader, as Minister of State, and Awolowo's daughter as ambassador, all appointed by a man who won the election through fraud. Meanwhile, nothing has been negotiated for the children of Abiola, the focus of Yoruba political activity. In return for these favors, the AD solidly voted for Evan Ewerem as Senate President. This is a man who participated in the 2 million man march for Abacha's self-succession. He also is reputed to have hosted a meeting of governors during IBB's transition, demanding that June 12 elections should never be de-annulled and threatening that the East will go to war if this was done. When Ibrahim Salisu Buhari was accused of swearing to a false affidavit, the Yoruba political elite correctly took up the gauntlet for his resignation. When an AD governor, Bola Tinubu, swears to a false affidavit that he attended an Ivy League university, which he did not attend, we heard excuses. You know that? That is the Toronto certificate of those days that came up. So for many years, Yoruba have inundated this country with stories of being marginalized and of a civil service dominated by Northerners through quota system. The Federal Character Commission has recently released a report which shows that the Southwest accounts for 27.8% of civil servants in the range of GL 08 to GL 14 and a full 29.5% of GL 15 and above. One zone out of 6 zones controls a full 30% of the civil service, leaving the other 5 zones to share the remaining 70%. We'll find the same story in the economy, in academia, in parastatals. Yet, in spite of being so dominant, the Yoruba complained of marginalization of recent in recognition of the trauma which hit the Southwest after June 12. The rest of the country forced everyone out of the race to ensure that a Southwesterner emerged, often against the best advice of political activists. Instead of leading a path of reconciliation and strong appreciation, the Yoruba have embarked on short-sighted triumphalism, threatening other nationalities that they who, after all, lost the election will protect Obasanjo, who was forced on them. No less a person than Bola Ige has made such utterances. To further show that they were in charge, they led a cult in the Hausa area of Shagamu, murdered a Hausa woman, and nothing happened. The violence that followed, they killed several Hausa residents, with Yoruba leaders like Segun Osoba, reminding Nigerians of the need to respect the culture of their host communities. This would have continued were it not for the people of Kano State, who showed that they could also create their own Oro, who will only be appeased through the shedding of innocent Yoruba blood. I say all this to support Balaribe Musa's statement that the greatest problem to nation building in Nigeria are the Yorubas bogus. I say this also to underscore my point that until they change this attitude, no conference can solve the problems of Nigeria. We cannot move forward if the leadership of one of the largest ethnic groups continues to operate not like statesmen, but like common area boys. And the use of area boy regularly, I want to believe that he's pointing fingers to Jagaban himself, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Is the luminous figure in politics at the moment, if you talk about the southwest of Nigeria, not because we don't have other people there. He is just the person that is there. Now, I want you guys to remember this. A man writing all of this, of course, he has his own opinion. He sees from a different, mirror. That's correct for everybody. Do you think this man can be the right person to become president? Do not forget that he claimed that his great-grandfather is Otman Danfodio, and they are full of deceit as regards their operations over time. I'm not saying that the southwest of Nigeria have produced the best of the best people without stains, and I'm not going to say the southeast of Nigeria have produced politicians without stains. Everyone, like I started initially, have one thing or the other that they have contributed negatively to what we have presently in Nigeria, and they are still on about it. The matter is this: whatever these people write about or discuss, it is not affecting the lives of the people they tagged common men, plebeians, people that they call ordinary citizens, inconsequential. It doesn't add any value to your life. It only has value to their own pockets and their children unborn. So I want you to look deep at this before we become partisan or tribal or religious in this. What's your take about what he has written? Have you gotten a different opinion as regard this? You've read history. Have you experienced any of what this man is saying? Do you think that Yorubas have been marginalized, Igbos have been marginalized? Do you think all the embassies all over the world, you will find an Hausa man at the top? Do you think the military and everything just consists of the Hausas? Do you think 1960, what brought about the Civil War and a lot of issues that brought about killings and all of that, do you think the Hausas were, Hausa Fulanis, make sure that they took over the parliament? What have you read? Let us meet at the comment section below. And while you're at that, if you're not a member of this channel, we can grow together by you tapping on the subscription button and the red notification icon bell below. It will alert you whenever videos are uploaded. Thanks for stopping by.